If we don't pay that fee or pay that cost up front, we're going to pay in regret. We're going to pay in lost opportunities. We're going to pay in mistakes that we make. Hey everybody, Dan Miller here. Today I want to talk a little bit about the contrast between paying and investing. We work with a lot of busy rural professionals here. And Denise and I, we're busy rural professionals ourselves, and we talk about that and we think about that a little bit, how, it's easy to want to save money, and I get it. We all want to save money. But whenever you are saving money and you're not paying for services that you need, is that costing you in some way? Absolutely. Guess what, folks? We all pay. It doesn't matter if we're paying for the service today or we're paying later, because if we don't pay somebody to help us do certain things, if we don't make that investment in that, we're going to pay for it later. And how are we going to pay for it later if we don't make that investment? We're going to pay with time, because whatever that task was we were going to do may take us longer to do now. We're going to pay with regret. Maybe we didn't take advantage of something that we wish we would have. And, this really come to light. And I think about paying for professional services. And of course, we're in the professional services business here. And I think about, Denise and I've thought about it, and, we have now taken our own medicine. We have hired a professional coach. Just like we help busy rural professionals prepare for retirement, well, we also are paying for a professional and their team to help us serve you, our clients, better. And, because we're figuring if we don't pay that fee or pay that cost up front, we're going to pay in regret. We're going to pay in lost opportunities. We're going to pay in mistakes that we make and all those kind of things. So, if you're a busy rural professional out there, like I know a lot of you are, we can relate to that. And, I'm 62 years old. I wish I would have done this a lot sooner. But, if you're within a few years of retirement, you still got time. And, I want you to realize that putting those things off, wait until the future, wait until, I'll get to it later on, or I can handle this myself, that comes at a cost. It really does. You may not pay it up front, but it may pay in, opportunity down the road. It may pay in regrets or timing or missed opportunities of something because you didn't position things correctly in the future. I think about, if I'm sick and I've had some health issues, I could have gone to WebMD. I could have just made it work on my own. I could have, tried to figure it out. And guess what? I'd have got close, but I might have also paid the ultimate cost later on if I would have just tried to figure it all out on my own. Now, I'm not equating, health emergencies exactly to your financial future, but they can both have extenuating or make a difference to your well-being and the well-being of your family if you think that you're going to get anything for free. Because again, just to reiterate what I've said, yes, you don't have to pay for financial services or professional advice up front. But what we often see is that if you don't pay for it up front, or if you don't make that investment in your future, in your family's future, that oftentimes, you will pay in one way or another later on down the line by a missed opportunity, by not taking your income as tax efficiently as you could have, by not positioning things as tax efficiently as you could have, for example, not understanding all of the Social Security rules and how to tie that into your tax qualified plans. Things like that. So I guess what I really want to leave you with here today is think about the difference between paying and investing. There are no free lunches, so you kind of got to make that decision. Are you going to pay now and get yourself on the right track and have a guide by your side? Or are you going to try to figure it out on your own and not, be able to feel confident? Oftentimes we pay for clarity, we pay for direction, we pay for focus. And, I know in our coaching, what we're doing here through the firm, we're doing that. And I got to tell you, this old dog, we didn't hire this coach until I was 61 years old. And it has been the greatest thing that we've ever done. Denise and I will both say, I wish we'd have done it 10 years sooner. So again, if you're even considering about looking at getting some outside advice or guidance or direction, and you're a busy rural professional out here and you're working hard, but you're within 5 to 10 years of retirement, I would really, suggest that you look into that sooner than later. Because again, in essence, you're going to pay one way or the other. I would rather see you pay with confidence and, go ahead and pay a fee to us, pay a fee to someone to get some advice, but rather have you not pay later in mistakes and missed opportunities. Again, thank you. And like I said, please reach out to us if we can be of any help.